A fuse doesn't blow for no reason. It sacrifices itself to protect your vehicle. But how does it know when to fail? Or why replacing a fuse with a bigger one can destroy expensive electronics and even start a fire? In today's video, we are diving deep into one of the most important but often overlooked topics in automotive electrical system, that is fuses, fusible rings, and circuit protection. You will learn why circuits need protection, the different types of fuses used in modern vehicles, how fusible rings works, and what circuit breakers do, how to diagnose blown fuse correctly, and the mistakes that can damage expensive ECUs. By the end of this video, you'll understand circuit protection like a professional automotive technician. Welcome back. If you're passionate about automotive electrical systems and you want to become better at diagnostics, please subscribe to the channel and let's get started. Before we talk about fuses, let us first understand why electrical circuits need protection. Every wire in a vehicle is designed to carry a specific amount of current. Think of a wire like a water pipe. A small pipe can only handle a certain amount of water before it bursts. Similarly, a wire can only handle a certain amount of electrical current before it overheats. When excessive current flows through a wire, several dangerous things can happen. First, the wire insulation melts, the components get damaged, connectors burn, electronic control units fail, electrical fires can start. This excessive current is called an overcurrent condition, and some common causes include short circuit, damaged wiring, faulty motors, internal components failures, incorrect repairs. To prevent these problems, manufacturers install protective devices that sacrifice themselves before the wiring gets damaged. That's where fuses and fusible rings come in. In modern vehicles, we use several types of fuses. Let us look at the most common ones. The first one, we have the blade fuses. These are the most common automotive fuses. You will find them in the cabin fuse box and engine compartment. They come in different amperage, ratings, and colors. For example, a 5 amperes is tan in color, a 10 amperes is red in color, a 15 amperes fuse is blue in color, a 20 amperes fuse is yellow in color, and a 30 amperes fuse is green in color. Inside the fuse is a thin metal strip. If current exceeds the fuse rating, the strip melts and opens the circuit. The next is we have a mini blade fuses. Modern vehicles contain more electronics than ever before. Micro fuses allow engineers to fit many circuits into a compact fuse panel. We have the cartridge fuses. They are large in size. They are used for higher current circuits such as cooling fan, ABS system, electrical power steering, and glow plug systems. And lastly, we have the mega fuses. These are heavy-duty fuses that protect major power distribution circuits. You often find them connected directly to the battery. Now, let us talk about fusible rings. A fusible ring is basically a special section of wire designed to act like a fuse. Unlike regular fuses, a fusible ring looks like an ordinary wire. However, it is intentionally made smaller than the circuit wire it protects. When a severe overload occurs, the fusible ring melts internally and disconnects the power before major damage occurs. Manufacturers often use fusible rings between battery and alternator, battery and fuse box, battery and starter circuit. A blown fusible ring may leave an entire section of vehicle without power because the damage is sometimes hidden under insulation, and diagnosing them requires careful testing. Some automotive circuits use circuit breakers instead of fuses. A circuit breaker performs the same protective function but operates differently. Instead of permanently blowing, it automatically resets after cooling down. Some common applications include in power windows, power seats, sunroof vehicles, and some heating, ventilation AC systems. When excessive current flows, the breaker opens the circuit. After After cooling, it reconnects automatically. This protects the circuit while allowing continued operation. Many people think a fuse blows randomly. It doesn't. A fuse blows because excessive current creates it. As current increases, the thin fuse element becomes hotter and hotter. Eventually, the metal reaches its melting point. The element melts, the circuit opens, current stops flowing, and wiring is protected. In other words, the fuse sacrifices itself to save the rest of the electrical system. Whenever a fuse blows, remember, the fuse is usually not the problem. The fuse is often the victim. The real problem is the fault that caused excessive current in the first place. One of the biggest mistakes technicians make is replacing a fuse without finding the cause. Here is the proper diagnostic process. Step 1. Verify the complaint. Confirm which system is not working. For example, horn, fuel pump, headlights, radio, or wipers. Step 2. Locate the correct fuse. Use the fuse box diagram or service information. Step 3. Inspect the fuse. Look through the transparent housing. If the metal strip is broken, the fuse has blown. Step 4. Test with a multimeter. Use continuity mode. A good fuse should show continuity. An open reading indicates a blown fuses. Step 5. Find the root cause. Investigate shorted wiring, damaged insulation, faulty motors, corroded connectors, water intrusion. Never assume replacing the fuse has solved the problem. When replacing a fuse, always use the exact amperage specified by the manufacturer. If the original fuse is 15 amperes, replace it with another 15 amperes fuse. Never guess, never upgrade, never install whatever fuse happens to fit. The fuse rating is carefully selected to protect the wiring. Using the correct fuse ensures safe operation and proper circuit protection. Now let us discuss mistakes that can destroy expensive vehicle electronics. Mistake 1. Installing a larger fuse. This can allow excessive current to reach sensitive modules. Mistake 2. Bypassing a fuse with wire or metaphor. This completely removes circuit protection. Mistake 3. Ignoring repeated fuse failures. A fuse that blows repeatedly indicates an underlying fault. Mistake 4. Using incorrect jump start procedures. Voltage spikes can damage ECUs and electronic modules. And last mistake, replacing components without diagnosing the actual problem. These waste money and may not solve the issue. Remember, modern vehicles can contain over 30 electronic control units, and many are extremely sensitive to electrical faults. Understanding circuit protection is one of the foundations of automotive electrical diagnostics. If you found this video helpful, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the Automotive, and turn on the notification so you never miss our next automotive electrical training video. In the next episode, we'll explore about relays, how they work, how small switches control big roads in modern vehicles. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.